Hey, you guys, welcome to Fantasy Island, where everything is my way. Hit the like button on your way in and enjoy, because y'all, the reactions. Now, oh, here go to me. It just falls on you. Okay, Mr. Dixon gives Miss Taylor undisputed as a reward for having with him. Okay, Miss Dixon, that's Joy Taylor in Joy Come. Yeah. In approximately March 2016, Miss Faraji met Miss Taylor, an inspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the opportunity of airtime at Fox. Okay. At the time, Miss Taylor did not have a regular position, but would fill in on a day-to-day basis when talent was sick or otherwise missed time. Miss Taylor told Miss Faraji that she was recently wed, but her husband remained in Miami and that she was lonely in Los Angeles. Miss Taylor then befriended Miss Faraji. So the hairstylist and Taylor became friends. So now that she's telling this girl's business, because they were friends in 2016, she worked there until 2024. So your friend told you this stuff that she's doing on the low, and now that you are in a pickle, you throwing her into the fire, like named and all. They clearly fell off. And that's crazy. Like when you fall off with somebody, you never want them to have leverage over you ever. And I feel like when you have workplace relationships, they're going to have that leverage over you. They're going to be able to come to your job and embarrass you or tell somebody else and you embarrassed. So be careful with these coworker friends. They can be associates, but friends, I would never expect my friend to post anything that I tell her in a lawsuit unless it's absolutely mandatory for her to inform them. And I doubt it. So don't. Anyway, uh, they became friends. In approximately May 2016, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When Miss Faraji arrived, she found Miss Taylor with an older man. Fox Sports Executive Vice President of Content, Mr. Dixon. Okay, so they became friends in March, April, May. By May, she was uh, meeting in Santa Monica with the Sports Executive Vice President of Content. And she was just part time working there. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. I wonder if that's a common practice for them to be having drinks out in Santa Monica with the help. It ain't even like she was a full-time anchor. She was just a temp, basically. Wow. Okay. So, as executive vice president, Mr. Dixon is responsible for overseeing all content and production on FS1. Miss Faraji, however, did not know Mr. Dixon, and she had been there already for years. But Miss Taylor, who just got there a couple of months ago, knew Charlie Dixon. I wonder if she knew him before she started coming around. Like, I wonder if this was the first time they met and she invited her friends so she could have somebody, when you are nervous about meeting somebody, you're like, oh, girl, come with me. Yeah, I think that could have been it, but I don't know. It seems suspicious to me. Um, When Mr. Dixon went to buy them another round of spicy margaritas, Miss Faraji asked who he was. Miss Taylor responded that he was just a friend. Just a friend. So she's already working there part time and she's saying he's just a friend, knowing that he is in charge of the content and production over there where she worked. Like, I wonder why she didn't say anything to Faraji, like, oh, you don't want her to get anything, any benefits from knowing this man, just you. Why did you invite her? Just a friend. Following that night, whenever Miss Faraji would meet with Miss Taylor for drinks or food, Mr. Dixon would either arrive with Miss Taylor or show up later in the night and leave with Miss Taylor. Yeah. So they clearly seem to have been having some type of relationship. I'm not saying for sure because I know people go on dates and they're not in a relationship, they just dating. And you aren't really tied to that person. Like I know that technically you are, but I don't really see it. But dang. Okay. He would always buy rounds of drinks and or food. From their body language, Miss Faraji suspected that the pair were sleeping with each other. And although this concerned Miss Faraji, as she knew Miss Taylor was recently married, I forgot. We just read this, and I already forgot that this woman was married. She was married. Okay, there's the scandal. Okay. So she was married and she was using what she got to get what she want. That is, ooh, that is wild. Miss Faraji kept her opinions to herself. Exactly. You hush, mind your business because you don't want to get in trouble for this is exactly what I was saying earlier. You do not have to say everything that you know. You could keep that. Do not say anything. Ooh. Approximately June 2016, while at work, Miss Faraji noticed Mr. Dixon in the elevator. Surprised by the coincidence, Miss Faraji found Miss Taylor and told her excitedly, "The guy who always buys our drinks was in the elevator." That sounds like me. The guy, that guy that always gets us drinks? I just saw him. That is hilarious. Miss Taylor quickly silenced Miss Faraji, explaining who he was. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that such a relationship was unsafe because, woman, you already married. It's already dangerous. And then you gonna do that at your job, but your boss, he basically, it's not your boss necessarily, but he has control to ruin your career. That is very unsafe. Oh, she was playing with fire. Hmm. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. Miss Faraji continued to be friends with Miss Taylor, but tried to distance herself as she considered the situation dangerous as well as morally wrong. See, I was wondering if she was pretending to be her friend and then afterwards she told all her business, even though she knew at the time. She did say something to her. She told her it wasn't safe. She said it wasn't a good idea. But still, she's snitching on her now. Wow. Because they were still friends. So she didn't turn into some evil monster because she was sleeping with the boss. She was still a nice person to other people, not the wife, but to other people. Hmm. Hmm. Dang, situation was dangerous as well as morally wrong as Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were both married. They were both married. That is as messy. We just saw, who was that? The news anchors that got into it with each other and like they were doing the do and they got found out so they left their partners for each other and they got fired. That's exactly what could have happened to her and she was trying to warn her. She was being a good friend. I think she just didn't want to listen because sometimes people doing the wrong thing but they don't want to hear that they're doing the wrong thing and you can choose to stay their friend or you can move around but they're going to make that decision with or without your approval. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm. In approximately July of 2016, word spread amongst Fox employees about a new show that was going to be a big deal as it would star Mr. Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Mr. Sharp. It was known that Fox was looking for a woman with significant TV experience to also star. Therefore, it came as a surprise when Fox announced that Miss Taylor, that just got there that same year, that's not even at the very, well, I guess it's technically the very beginning, but March, not even January. And by July, they like, oh yeah, she gonna be on this show. I am not saying that she slept her way to the top. I am not saying that she slept for this position. I am just saying it seems to me like she slept her way to this position and she decided to attach herself to this man because she knew that he had some type of leverage over there at Fox. So every time she went out with her girlfriend, she made him feel like the man and he gave her a show. It's very interesting. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Who was a bartender and radio host in Miami with very little TV experience, would be the moderator of the new show, the sports debate program, Skip and Shannon, Undisputed. So I remember her on Undisputed. She's a very gorgeous woman. So obviously I was like, oh, hi, Candy. But that is interesting that she's alleging that she only got that position because she knew she was sleeping with this man. Mr. Bayless later disclosed to Miss Faraji that he did not want Miss Taylor on the show. Look at him pillow talking. This why he in the mess he in right now. He did not want Miss Taylor on the show. But Mr. Dixon was adamant that Miss Taylor should star. So he's saying, she's saying that Skip already told her that the boss is the reason why she is starring on this show. He was adamant. That means he put his foot down. She's starring on this show. It's kind of hard to fight those allegations with stuff like that. Like, that's dang, that's straight out of the horse's mouth. At first, Mr. Dixon arranged a dinner between Mr. Bayless and Miss Taylor, where she arrived in provocative clothing and attacked in a provocative manner. When that did not change Mr. Bayless' opinion of Miss Taylor, Mr. Dixon asked him to approve of her as a favor to him. As a favor to him. Okay, this is textbook quid pro quo. Like there is no there is no question about whether she slept her way to the top, whether she used sex to get her position. If this is straight from Mr. Bayless, who's not the plaintiff, saying that he didn't even want her there, and he has that type of power because he's Skip Bayless. And he stayed because Dixon said, "Can you do us a favor for me?" That is, mm. Around August 2016, Miss Faraji attended a dinner with Miss Taylor and her husband, and Mr. Dixon and his wife. Listen to what she just said. Miss Faraji attended a dinner with Miss Taylor and her husband and Mr. Dixon and his wife. The messiest shit. Why is she there? Why did she say yes? I would have been like, no, girl, I'm definitely not going to be there. That's about to be the messiest dinner ever. Or potentially. It might not be, but potentially. During the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband became suspicious. Oh, I knew it! Oh, that's nuts. Became suspicious that Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were having a sexual relationship. Soon after the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorced Miss Taylor. Okay. You know how it's like, oh yeah, it was alleged and la la la. If he was able to file for divorce on the grounds of her infidelity and he had proof that he showed the court based on her infidelity with Dixon, it's no question, is quid pro quo. She slept her way to the top, and that's wrong. That's wrong. That she wasn't qualified. It's not like I'm saying, oh yeah, These women should not get anything. These qualified women should not be sleeping with anyone, and they should not get anything given to them like these men get given to them that are unqualified. They just are given these things because they have a Johnson. Yeah, because of that, not because of that, but because she was not qualified for the job. They wanted somebody that had some experience, and she didn't have that. So, and not only was she not qualified for the job, the co-host didn't want her there. So it's like, it's hard to push that this isn't one of those situations where she got something for just being associated with this man. And the mess, this is stupid, gentlemen. This is not smart. You have a whole wife and you have a whole company, and you decide, I'm going to throw it all away because she's pretty. Mm, she fine. Okay, she fine. And we seen him. We have seen him. He isn't hideous, he just isn't handsome, you know? He just, yeah. So, him getting an opportunity to have a beautiful girl like her around is always a story, right? They want your presence and you want their presence. Mhm. So, in approximately September 2016, Undisputed started and Miss Taylor requested Miss Faraji to do her hair. Girl, I am not trying to come over there to your messy ass shit and do your hair while you fucking on the phone. Like, this is, she is just tangling her in this web with her. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn your notification bell on so you know when I'm posting. See you soon.